Welcome back to a new video. So kind of been planning things out, been using ChatGPT a lot. It's been kind of nice. It's good when you have an idea and you want to flesh it out or have it kind of give you a plan. So I actually used it to kind of write a 5-week training plan, and basically it has some stuff that's in it that's wrong, but it gives me a general overview, because you can sit there and talk to it and it will kind of write out a plan, and then you can look at it, and it puts it in a nice document too, which is really nice. But I was also asking it about like a YouTube upload schedule and kind of trying to play around with getting kind of like a weekly routine with that based on the training. And it's good for kind of fleshing out ideas. So it's I kind of view it as a calculator. If you are not good at math or you don't have any understanding of math, you are not going to be able to utilize a calculator to its full ability. But if you have some understanding of math or what you're trying to do with a number or something, a calculator becomes very useful, because you don't have to do a lot of, like, for me, if I'm writing out a 5-week program, I don't have to physically type it out or write it out. It will churn something out, and then I can look at it and say, you know, this is wrong, fix this, or let's adjust this. Because like I did it at first where I had like a week progression. I was like, all right, let's make it a 5-week progression. And it made it like a peaking 5-week. And I was like, no, I want it to be a linear progression. And then it only made a linear progression of the percentages, so the volume stayed the same. And so I told it to change that. And looking at it again, even before I came out here, some of the reps were kind of goofy. Like it was like, do power clean plus jerk for 4 reps. And like, you know, no psychopath is doing that. So there is nuances that are going to get wrong. And if, like I said with the calculator example, if you don't have an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish, then you might look at that on the face of it and say, well, ChatGPT said it was correct, so it must be correct. And obviously, you know, if you have any sort of expertise or any, you know, background knowledge in the subject, you can verify that that is correct or it's reasonable. But it also kind of that's what I kind of use it for, is like a more advanced way of like typing out my thoughts, which is kind of nice, to be honest, because it just made like getting that 5-week progression out really nicely. And what I plan on using, because I bought like the premium, so I spent $20 on it. What I plan on doing is, as I have these sessions done, is put what I've actually done and then say, hey, here's what I did today, and like kind of communicate and see what happens when I do that, as far as, you know, calculating volumes and intensities and stuff. It's not as good at being nuanced about that right now, but I think if I talk with it more and kind of give it better context, it might do a better job. Because, you know, when I gave it like 1 rep maxes, it was like basing everything off, you know, what my snatch is, whether it's a power snatch or any sort of thing. But if you have an understanding of what lifting is, if you're trying to, you know, if it says 70%, like for me, yeah, you can base it off your 1 rep max snatch, but there's also context is important, because you need to look at, you know, what lift you're exactly doing. So speaking of lifts that you're actually doing today, that I'm doing today, it is going to be power snatches, and they're going to be at between 80 and 90, and power clean and jerks between 110 and 120. 4 singles for the clean and jerk, and I put 5 to 8 for the snatches. They're just singles, so we'll see how they feel. Tomorrow, my event thing that I'm going to, I've talked about this on lives, but this will be, when you're seeing this video, I'll probably be going at it, or at least I will be going to it later that day. But the event thing is not till 3, so because I'm dog sitting today, once I finish training, I'll go over there and be dog sitting. And then tomorrow, I should be able to come back to the house and train kind of similar today, because right now it's about noon, which is, you know, a lot earlier than normal for me. But train around noon again tomorrow, and then go to that event thing at 3-ish, or at least maybe a little bit earlier than that. I have a feeling that once I wake up, I won't really have much to do, because I'm caught up on grad school work. I had for teachers, you have like school training thing for that you have to do every year. So it's just for a variety of categories, like bloodborne pathogens and school safety, just like 8 or 9 different ones. And doing it for now the 10th time, I think. You get pretty good at them because they're mostly, even though you switch schools, they're basically all the same. So it's not really any different information. So you just have to make sure you're reading the questions carefully or thinking through them. It's a little bit, some of them are self-evident, but some of the other ones, they can be a little bit tricky with that. I've also fixed the camera too. So now I can have apparently a 2-hour time limit. Apparently it's in 4K. I don't know if that's true, but you have to set it in that 4K symbol. Well, I don't render in 4K, so I doubt any of my videos would actually be. That's a little bit too much work, and I don't notice too much of a quality difference with that, nor do I know if this camera actually does like actual 4K. It says it's 4K, but who knows if it actually is. But the big thing is it takes off the time limit, which is nice. So I can ramble here and not have to worry about going back to the camera and back and forth as long as the battery doesn't die. So that's really the limiting factor, and it's a fresh battery in there. So as long as I have a fresh battery in, then I should be okay to go. I thought about doing the heavy session today and doing the heavy lifts right now, but based on how I was feeling yesterday and still being kind of gassed from the squats and the presses earlier in the week, I figured treating this day kind of what the plan is normally, is making this day a lighter day anyway, and doing the heavy stuff tomorrow potentially. Like tomorrow might not even go well for heavy stuff anyway, because all of the pig squats and presses and stuff, but at least tomorrow I'll have a better chance than I think I would today. Plus today's it's all rainy and cold outside. Not that it's really like uncomfortably cold in here or anything, but the vibes aren't as good outside, and it kind of just fits better into the plan. But I suppose I should warm up at some point, but based on kind of the upload schedule plan thing that I kind of fleshed out, based on kind of like how the training will go during the week, I will have, so like today, the video that you're seeing will be a longer one. So like Saturdays will be a longer video in theory. And obviously, stuff for the summer, I should be able to kind of stick to a schedule pretty well. Obviously during the school year, things will go haywire as far as uploads. But Saturday ideally would be kind of a longer upload like this, so kind of a gym talk video. And then Sunday would be the Saturday, so I'm thinking of the session from the prior day, because obviously I'm not going to lift and edit and upload the same day, because it would just be at night, and that's not I just don't want to do it. Oh yeah, that's just too much. That's too much. So ideally, like Sunday would be the Saturday training session, and that would be more focused on just the training, since that would be the heavier day. So I might be live for that, but it would just be like the regular long video would just be the training. Sunday might be similar to this one, because it's in theory a lighter day, or a day where I'm not lifting very heavy weights, because Saturday will have been the heavy day. Monday, I want to bring back the blocks. So trying to look where I even have them. I guess they're there and back there a little bit. But to do block work, so that would be a day that would be potentially commentary. So that's what I'm like trying to figure out, is what kind of session fits on different days, and kind of fitting in live streams where it makes sense. I think the weekends are probably better for those. I mean, for me, like every day is a weekend right now, but I know during the weekends might be a better time to do that. And I mean, I could even try to schedule like training sessions like that, and try to be really organized with that. Because honestly, I never really plan the exact time. Like I have a general idea, and if I have stuff to do today or any particular day, then it gets more specific. But I don't really have like I'm going to work out at 3:30 or whatever. I just kind of go when I feel like it. So I could get more planned out in that regard, which would probably just be good for life organization in general, but would allow the live streams to be at a scheduled time. So maybe I could try to do that. That's not directly on the forefront of my thoughts, but who knows? That seems like a good idea though. And then just kind of alternating, so it won't all be long videos like this. I think having we could start with like Saturday like this, and then maybe add some commentaries in, because those are shorter, and I can still talk about the training. Here, as you can tell from the first, I don't even know how long I've been talking, but quite long. So I need to warm up a little bit. I'm going to stretch my shoulder out a little bit. But the total clip could be 2 hours and 20 some minutes, so I can't imagine I'll ever train that long. I suppose a day like this too is good for a longer video because the camera won't have any issues overheating or anything. But I feel a lot better today, so I think I'm starting to, I sound like I'm trying to get past an illness, but like it sounds like I'm mostly recovered, so I'm certainly not planning on doing a pig squat type workout for a while. That's definitely a kind of a one-off training thing. Doing that on a frequent basis is brutal. I mean, I don't even think, if I did it again, I don't know what weight I'd get to, but I would imagine I would gas out pretty fast. Before I went to sleep last night, I was thinking about what would happen if you like just did that every day. Not that I would even conceive that, because it would just be dangerous, but like where would you start to fail? And my guess is probably about 100 kilograms if I were to do it like right the next day. Basically, I think I wouldn't get hurt, but the hypertrophy from the lighter sets would just be unbearable. And I don't know if it would burn or hurt necessarily, but I think you would just get so pumped so quickly, and it would just become painful in that regard, especially like your back. I think everything really, but it would just be so uncomfortable. But strangely, I don't think there would be like a joint limitation. I think it would truly just be the pump that would be so uncomfortable. Get the wrist wraps on. Whoop. I don't want to do singles or doubles on this day because I want to use no straps. But we'll for sure get 5 singles. We'll throw this. There we go. We'll for sure get 5 singles in the power snatch, and for sure do them at least 80. And if they feel good, go up a little bit. But trying to get back into a normal training routine. Believe it or not, doing all of those squats and presses kind of threw me off a little bit. Just slightly. Not in a bad way though, just can't really lift normally when everything is slow and sore. All right. We'll do another warm-up set here and then start doing some power snatches. We'll lose the glasses as well. We're going to experiment with some tunes as well, see if I get copyright. Hopefully not. Hopefully Jackal here is a boss and doesn't mess up my videos, because I like his song. All right, we're ready to add some kilograms. Do 40, 60, 80, normal jumps. Trying to use the mic again too. A little bit more editing, but it's only a couple clicks. I don't have to thinking, trying to use my teacher voice, trying to be loud. All right. I don't know. Nothing else really to say other than to get to work. So probably less talking now. Hit these weights. My left hand is sliding out a little bit. It's a little bit wider than my right hand, so I don't really know why that's happening. But it might explain why my thumb tape and stuff doesn't stay as well on my left hand than my right. So we'll try to not do that, I guess. Just try to stay better connected on the left side. But this is 80 now. Still did the same thing, so not really sure what that's about. Snatch didn't feel too bad, but we're going to do all the singles at 80 for sure. Definitely not moving super closely, so just keep practicing with this weight, but I don't know. Do you have any theories of why that might be happening? Maybe I need to ask Chat GPT. Still felt it a little bit. Also heard the plate slide a little bit, so put a clip on. I don't know, maybe that's just something I can work on with fire snatches. Maybe that's just something that's limiting me a little bit. I've noticed as well, this piece of wood back here, when it got really wet on the outside or when it rained a lot, that piece of wood would get wet. So the insulation I have along there is doing good because it's actually drying out. There still is moisture that gets in from the front door, but can't really prevent that if I still want to open the door. So it's still a lot better. I still have like the rubber underneath, so I mean it should still last a while. But I mean, if it starts to get really wonky, the cement underneath, I can just fix it again. So it is what it is. It's not a perfect platform. We'll try to do that same thing. Try to do better. Try to do the same thing but better. We're going to try to turn the hands over faster on this one, see if that makes a difference. I was able to hold the hook grip more, and what I actually felt happened is this. Literally, I didn't feel my hand slide, and the hook grip I was able to hold on. So I actually will keep trying to hold the hook grip, but I need to make sure I punch up on the left side a little bit better. So that tells me why it's sliding a little bit. I don't know how many reps that was. I'm going to say it was 3, even though it might have been 4. 2, 3, and then just keep doing it. I guess I try to keep the hook grip on if it's working, but try to get both sides to be symmetrical. But I could really feel it when I kept the hook grip, so I'll try to do that on this one too. Probably better for technique anyway. Still felt better, but it just, like, I can feel the outside of my hand just barely touching the collar, and I don't on the right side at all. So I'll keep, like, that one felt a lot better. I'm gonna keep analyzing that, like my starting hand position, all of that stuff. Maybe I'm over analyzing it, but I know from the angle you guys are at, it's hard to see symmetry and evenness of the bar. It's always one benefit of being at the actual gym, but with how the space is now, I can't really record from the front very easily. We'll just have to keep trying to do it better. I mean, this is one of the benefits of a session like this. Like, I don't feel too bad. Definitely feel like I'm ready to train, but you know, it gives me a chance to work on things while trying to, now obviously the speed and trying to be explosive, but also, you know, technical things as well. So trying to make sure everything is symmetrical, which will just be better in general. Obviously, it will help with heavier weights because then you're just not failing them because you're twisted around or whatever. I'm going to respond to this text really quick. My friend got a new job. Just give him a thumbs up. But no, we worked together at our previous district, and he was able to get out as well. So that's exciting. That's super exciting for him. Well, this is either the 5th or the 6th set. But I feel pretty good, so we're just going to keep working. All right, this one we're going to go collar to collar. That one actually felt good. So both sides felt good. So I'm going to try to make sure I wasn't like pushed against the collars, but I was brushing against them on both sides. So plus I think I'm tall enough and long enough to where I'm not going to look like a Armenian trying to snatch. So that's either the 5th or the 6th set. We'll do one more like that. It actually felt good. So wider grip. So it might just be what I need to do to catch it symmetrically. Maybe my body is telling me that. Foot's itchy. I also think I have a bunch of red bumps on my leg. I don't know if it's because I buzzed the hair off my legs or if I got like poison ivy or something, but I have a bunch of red bumps. So it's making me think that I got something from either the hill or walking in the woods or something. I always have long pants on, but I think there was a day when I was weed whacking out here where I didn't have long pants on, so could have easily gotten some irritation from that. So thankfully, I'm not a model or anything, so I don't need to be a harlot and show my legs. But you wouldn't really be able to tell. It's just a lot of my blemishes, my faults, you can't really see on the camera. If it was 4K, you probably could. You'd see all my faults. So now of all the people I worked with at my previous school, there's only one person that's left. And she's not going to be going anywhere most likely, I would imagine, because she has a lot of years. When you have a lot of years of teaching at one district, if you move to another one, you lose a lot of those years. So most districts will accept, at least in the state of Ohio, up to 10 years. So I'm at 10 now. So if I were to go to another district, I'd probably get all of my years still. But there are, like if I had 15, they would knock you down to 10. So depending on where you go, it might not be that much of a pay decrease, but you are losing some of that, which is not ideal. If you're 25, 30 years in, that's a lot of money that you're losing. Because I think most districts go up about $2,000 a year, thereabouts, but I could be wrong about that. And obviously, if you get your master's and stuff, it's a bigger bump than that for that individual year. But you're taking 10 years off, bumps like that. It's a lot of money because then it just accumulates each year. But let's do one more set. I'm still able to hold the hook grip too, which is interesting. It's not something I ever really try to do because it usually kind of messes me up. And when I get the heavier weights especially. But maybe I can start incorporating that into my warm-ups. I don't think I could for cleans though. I'm gonna do one more set, but to do a full snatch, to see if I can hold the hook grip on it. So this will either be the 7th or the 8th set. So because it's actually like it feels good to catch with the hook grip now, which is interesting, but it might be different once I'm all the way down in the bottom. The pull feels a little better. All right, let's get to a full snatch. A full snatch. I think they'll just, I haven't even been as good at mobility the last couple days, but I think just doing it a lot more like that felt really comfortable. Felt like I was holding, obviously you're holding it, but like I felt more locked into the bar at the bottom. It's very strange. I don't know if that would hold true with heavier weights, but make a note. Full rep, hold, hook. Interesting. So, well, something I can reinforce again tomorrow and try, because that was really truly interesting. Make sure I'm not too big. All right, I'm blind, which is why I probably don't look at the camera as well as I should, because I can see that it's on, and I can see kind of the blur, but can't see myself. So that's like the camera, I have it flipped to the side. So to me, it's I'm not good at looking at it because I can't see it. So I trip over stuff out here sometimes, but that's more, I can see close fine. It's the distance. Y'all too far away. Honestly, it's probably from like the cleans and stuff, just stretching out my wrist, and my whole front rack has probably allowed my arms, my upper part of my arms, like up here, to be more flexible as well as just my back and stuff. So maybe that's carrying over to that a little bit. I'm going to try to do this first rep, not doing front squats in this one, just powers and jerks. But I'm going to try to catch with hook grip on this one. I have a feeling that it won't work, or it won't be very comfortable. But with 70, we might have it. Because I've been able to do it, like I can do a full rep with straps. So in theory, should be able to do it with a hook grip as well, right? So we'll see. Nope. I can feel it roll out of my fingers, so we're not going to try to do that on other reps. Not surprised. I'm not. I don't have the Ilya front rack. I don't think many people do. But if I can maintain it with the snatch, could be useful. Come here. We're gonna go right to 110. Skipping 90. My wood came here today. I was so confused. I got to call it like 6:30 in the morning. So I actually didn't sleep in at all. Yeah. Don't really feel that tired from. Guess I'll probably will later today, but I mean, once training's done, then I don't really care if I feel tired. But yeah, it was interesting because it was between, I think, 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. Like, I think it was like all day. and they got it done right away. But my Home Depot is really close, so it's not too surprising they would start closer. But I have to wait till next week to get the wood, or not the wood, the rubber pieces. But it'll probably be something I do next week. Obviously not today. This weekend I'm going to be actually busy, but today would be a non-starter regardless because it's raining. We'll get it all measured out and chopped up. So I think 4 riffs would be, or 4 singles would be too much, but we'll for sure do 2. But just like for the snatches, I'm not going to go above this weight. We're going to keep it right here. Maybe 3 or 4 won't be too bad. But next ones have to feel a lot better. Nothing hurts, but just feels a little heavy. And just too heavy for what I want to accomplish today. But not too unbearable. We got more. It's weird when I'm holding it in the jerk, my front rack feels like it's a lot better than before for whatever reason. But like I can't hold it with a hook grip, not even close. So I still have to like readjust and whatnot, but that will probably always be the case. So second rep, so we'll do at least 1 more. My jerk footwork feels really good as well. It's weird is like when I'm starting the lift, I feel my left knee a little bit, but when I'm doing the rest of the lift, like I don't notice anything with either knee, which is good. But to be fair, I kind of feel a little bit with both, but just achy. Thankfully, it's not like hurting or catching on anything or anything feeling like that. We'll do one more though, then we'll be out. We'll be all at. Then I'll get to go play with some puppers. So that's all I'm going to do today. Other than maybe I have my voice crack a little bit, but quick little easy session. I'm glad I decided to do training like this versus trying to do heavier stuff, because it might have went okay, but I wouldn't have had the thought about catching snatches with a full hook grip the whole time. So that's something I can practice tomorrow. But also I get to have a easier session, which is nice. I think if I would have tried to lift heavy, I would have just been disappointed. I wouldn't have felt that good. At least, especially for the clean jerk, I would imagine. If I was going to get gas, it would have been for that more than the snatches, but who knows? Who knows? I'll put you all right there so I can take these off. I actually use both hands. But if you are curious about what the 5-week block looks, let me know. And I could post a link to it, probably in a community post, or probably could do it in the description if someone was curious enough. But if I did share it with you, because I didn't really create it, you know, I gave it all the metrics or whatnot. I don't really care if people use it or modify it. But what could be useful for you listening to this at this point, if you do want it, is to look at it, copy it, paste it into ChatGPT, and then tell it what changes that you want it to make for your individual programming. And then you could really, you know, dial it into what you exactly want to do, or you could keep it exactly the same. So nice little, I guess, a free program in that regard. But you can modify it. It modifies quite easily as far as like when you're communicating with the AI, you know, taking stuff on and off. So that part works really well. But as long as you give it specific parameters, so it's not making you do sets of 5 in the clean jerk or something that's just not physically feasible to do on a regular basis or really ever, unless you do CrossFit or something. So that's definitely something I could do. Just sitting in a Google Doc on my computer with that. But ChatGPT is pretty cool with that, so I'm experimenting with that. I haven't done anything experimenting with it with diet, but I would imagine it would do a pretty good job of calculating calories and whatnot. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fancy calculator, and, you know, you could pay for a fitness app that tracks your food, but I would argue it's probably not going to be any more accurate than a ChatGPT type system. Because you just need to get in the ballpark, unless you're a bodybuilder or something. But I was also 235.9 today, which is interesting. Because yesterday I was 238, so I'm relatively stagnant now. Get on there. So I'm not necessarily trying to make any radical changes right now. I'm just kind of vibing. And like, honestly, like my lifts feel good right now. So I don't necessarily, plus like my mobility also feels better, which like a lot of that's just from stretching and stuff, but I'm sure losing a couple pounds has already helped it a little bit. And it's not as if I need it to be, you know, extremely better. I still can get in all the positions, but feeling comfortable holding a hook grip in the bottom of the snatch might be beneficial, and might make the turnover a little bit more powerful or consistent. So we'll have to see if that trend continues. But I mean, I'm certainly not trying to gain weight, but I'm also not trying to starve myself. So we'll see how much the weight loss continues, if it does, or if it kind of sits around this weight. I mean, maybe 235 is just where I sit, and you know, I'd be fine with that. Whatever is a good way to move well. So I don't necessarily feel like I'm moving faster, but my mobility definitely feels better. So for whatever that's worth, that could be, you know, like I said, the combination of stretching and whatnot. But if you did make it to this point, do appreciate it, and we'll try to be good with kind of the varying video types. So hopefully, you know, Saturdays it's a long video. You can kind of assume if it's a 50-minute or an hour or however long these will end up being, that I'm going to be talking for the majority of it, or at least, you know, during it. And then the shorter ones, the Sunday one will probably be no commentary, just training. And then I guess it depends on the other days, but we'll kind of get into a good rhythm with that, and hopefully just stick with that for, you know, as long as I'm doing this kind of training block, and then kind of make adjustments if I change how training is looking at a particular time. But that being said, time to go get this edited, go eat a little bit of lunch, and go hang out with some puppers on this rainy day, because I got nothing else better to do. But I'll talk to you all the next one. Peace.